Hello everyone, we are Group 3 from BERR 227 Video Practice 2. We are going to explain our code for the library system.
Initially, the module class library, borrow, date, time are imported to access other modules and class function. The main program starts with printing welcome message, user input student ID, book data load from testing.txt file through function, load book from file. Program then loops and user can choose from several choices using if-else condition. If input 1, user is able to borrow the book using function student request book. Else if input 2, user able to return book borrow through student return book and save as received. Else if input 3, user able to display all available book through display available book functions. Else if input 4, which is choose to log in admin system by admin functions. Else of these choices are invalid and respond with error message. Last, user can decide to continue or exit. If user input exit, the loop will break and terminated. The function lookbook from file is to read the file. Function get yes is to check whether the input equal to list. If equal, return true. Last function get int is to ensure input of user is integer.
Hello, I'm Brian. I'm going to explain about my part, which is class library. The class library have a constructor, so we have a list of books and a dictionary. I issue the book have been borrowed. The class library has three methods, which is display available books, which is display all the books in the library, and borrow books, which is remove the books from the library, and return book, which is return the borrow books back to the library.
Hi, I'm Dilesh and I will be explaining the return receipt function and that in subclass. The return receipt function in the library class prints a receipt for returned books, including calculating any penalty. It converts the borrow date from a string to a date object, compares the return date with maximum return date, and prints the receipt with the book title, borrower's name, expected return date, actual return date, and penalty. The penalty is calculated based on the number of days the book is returned late using the formula penalty equals to return date minus maximum return date 0.8.
Hi, I'm Ang. I will explain class for student. Student class is to create an object for the library system. It has a method named request book that runs the pinjam function that returns a list of borrow book. The function name pinjam has several functions. 1. Print currently available book. 2. Updates the available books after a book has been borrowed. 3. Store the borrowing record into txt files that holds the borrow record. 4. Print a receipt that prints out the action of the students, including expected book return date. Next, the student class also contains the method named return_book that will handle the return book request. The method will firstly show the borrowing record of the books available to be returned so that the user can choose which book to return. After the user has chosen a book to return, it will run the return_book function, which is used to erase the borrowing record of the corresponding book return. Then finally, this method will return a list named return_book, which is used while printing the receipt. This is the function of return_book.
Right, I'm going to explain about the return function. The return function is used to remove the books from the record.txt file and append the books into the testing book.txt file. If you accept list of books, a book number in the book available, and the name. Firstly, if you append the book into the txt books, then testing book.txt, then you will filter out the lines in the record.txt and overwrite it with new record. Finally, the same process is done on the user.txt to remove the book that have been returned.
The admin class, a subclass of the parent class student, inherits functionalities related to admin tasks. The admin function manages administrative tasks such as checking the number of books and borrowing records. It prompts for a passkey to authorize access, takes the username and password input from the admin, and stores the admin's username and passwords. The response part of the admin function prompts the user to choose between checking the number of books in option 1 or viewing borrowing records in option 2. If option 1 is selected, it displays the book count. If option 2 is selected, it shows the borrowing records. An incorrect passkey results in an error message. The admin class in class library handles library administrative functions. It initializes with a name and password. The check record method loads and prints borrowing records from record.txt. The display book number method counts and returns the occurrences of each book from testingbook.txt in a dictionary.